Hey Cancer, welcome to your mid-February reading. This is a general reading for all Cancers for February 15th to 28th. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cards and see what they're trying to tell us for the second half of February. Okay, Cancer, so we will start by going through the cards individually, and then what will happen is we'll start to get a feel for things and we'll get a more overall reading. Keep in mind this is a general reading, and if something catches you, something I say resonates with you, we can explore it a lot better with an individual reading, and you can contact me at mainspringtarot@gmail.com. The email is underneath the video. But let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. So at the heart of your situation right now, we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse, crossed by the Lover's card, or sorry, Two Cups. So we've got Wheel of Fortune in reverse, crossed by the Two of Cups. So Lovers, because Two Cups is like a minor version of the Lover's card. So Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse suggests that something has happened, some significant thing has happened that's really a part of your journey, your individual journey, and your path to wholeness. So something has happened, and there's some tension. So the Wheel of Fortune in reverse means something has happened. It's either good or bad, and you are resisting it, or there's some conflict there. And crossed by the Two of Cups tells me that this could be a new career choice, could be a new interest, could be an individual as well, but we'll take a look at what the cards suggest about that. So the basis of the situation here is the Hierophant. At the Hierophant. So here we've got this priestly looking figure in a position of authority. He represents an institution of learning, an institution of like a school of thought, like a religion or a philosophical way of looking at things, or a political background. So the basis of the situation being the Hierophant suggests that what's going on with you right now, Cancer, is you are transitioning a bit into maybe a new way of looking at things. So it could be a philosophy, it could be a career choice, but we might have a connection there with the Wheel of Fortune. And in your recent past, we've got the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is this great gift from the universe. It's this burst of energy and optimism and passion directed towards something, and maybe that's this new degree, or this new way of looking at this new kind of way of seeing the world. Maybe you're really into some new philosophy right now, or maybe you're really getting into whatever your religious practice is. And so however you're getting into it, the card suggests that you're getting into it with a lot of passion and a lot of energy. So first possible outcome card is Death. Okay, so Death, not a word that anyone loves to hear, but Death card here. We've got these towers in the distance with the sun rising. So Death usually just tells us that that some aspect of yourself is dying off. Some aspect of your experience is resolving itself or going away. And what the cards are going to tell us is, what your relationship is to this death. Like, are you resisting? It could be, like with the Hierophant here, what I'm getting is that some significant event has happened that has caused you to has kind of shaken your view on the world a little bit, and you are transitioning into this new way of seeing things. So this old way of seeing the world, or this old philosophical way that you kind of like, this philosophical outlook that you lived by, is moving into a period where it's going away and you're growing into something new. So in the near future, we've got the Five of Swords in reverse, which means in the near future you're going to come into conflict with someone or something. There's going to be some conflict, and at this point, Cancer, it looks like, because we've got this Hierophant at the basis and the Wheel of Fortune at the heart of the situation, and death as a possible outcome. I'm really thinking this has to do with just a way that you look at the world, because this being crossed by the Two of Cups, that Two of Cups really means the beginning of a new something. So a lot of times we read a relationship there, but there's not a lot of court cards here. And with the Hierophant, it really feels like this change into, again, getting repetitive here, but into a new outlook on the world, or a new career choice, or basically a new way that you can shape yourself into then being something useful in the world, is happening. That change is happening whether you want it to or not. So the card suggests just let it happen. Again, we've got that sun rising in the distance in that death card, so we've got something good coming from that, because in the current environment, we've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and that Self card there, we've got the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, with the Knight of Cups, we've got this hesitance. So we've got this, this is the this is the court card that goes out into the world, that journeys out into the world. Both the Knight of Cups, there's this river running through, but it's more of a trickle running through the desert, and so it's like he's got this power. He's got this intuitive, creative power, but he's holding this cup and he's carefully balancing it. So it's like he's hesitant to unleash it into the world, and he's got on his helmet and his shoes, he's got these wings, so when he decides he can or wants to, he can really take off. But right now there's this hesitance, and it looks like it's affecting your confidence in your work. Or confidence with professionals in your job. And I think what's really interesting is the fact that in your hopes and fears position, we have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is the kind of student education card. So the Page of Pentacles, you can see him intently focused on that pentacle, and that pentacle is really just that practical energy, that earthbound practical energy. And we're talking about like the energy that you put into the world, the energy you use to create wealth for yourself, wealth for your community. And with the Page, we've got a student intently focused on his studies. And so in that hopes and fears position, what that tells me is that maybe this Knight of Cups hesitance is like, this Knight of Cups hesitance with the Hierophant and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Death card, they're all working together now to suggest that for a lot of you Cancers, you have this nuanced emotion right now where you hope to learn a new way of looking at things, and again, maybe it's work, maybe it's more philosophical, maybe it's more religious. Like, you've got these mixed emotions where it's like, am I going to go out and let this old way of doing things die and really apply myself and immerse myself in this new way of seeing the world again, whether it's getting another degree for your job, or I don't know if it's because we've got that Three of Pentacles. What's really jumping out at me is the fact that we've got this apprentice at work in a church, and this card is reversed, which just suggests that all of this energy of this month is affecting you at work. And maybe you work in a church, Cancer, or have really strong ties to a religious institution, but the card suggests there's a new way of seeing things and looking at things. Ultimately, the outcome card is the Nine of Cups in reverse. So Nine of Cups is a party card. This is a guy that's got his cups stacked behind him. He's got his back kind of turned to the deeper currents of his emotions and intuition. He's just having a good time. You can see the smile on his face. His arms are crossed. He's having a party. In reverse, though, it suggests that you're not letting that surface, like that material way of looking things, impact you as much anymore. So maybe this is the card that ties the reading together, and I feel strongly that it does. So all these cards together suggest that some major event has happened that has kind of rocked your way of looking at things. And maybe in a big way, a lot of your worldview was very much tied to materialism. Maybe it was just, pursuing things that, trying to get that promotion at work and trying to provide for your family, and like everything was very materially oriented. So with that Nine of Cups in reverse and the Hierophant and that Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups and the Death card, it's like you're going through this shift, Cancer, where you are hesitantly approaching a way of looking at the world that is more steeped in those emotional currents and those intuitive currents, and maybe even like that religious current, that spiritual current. So at this point, you're hesitant. Outcome card suggests you're going for it. That who you are at a real level is someone that is looking for a worldview that has a little bit more depth. So the universe has given you the energy. There's that Ace of Wands in your recent past, so you've got that burst of energy, and Two of Cups means that this union with this new way of looking at things is generally going to be positive. I'd say at this point you're taking it slow, and the cards don't suggest that you should. The cards don't suggest that there should be a major jump into things, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Keep your eyes set on that sun coming up on the towers in the distance, and honor yourself by knowing that it's a very brave thing to go for a way of looking at the world that gets beyond the material and really appreciates the the intuitive and emotional depths that you bring, especially with your water sign Cancer. So that is what the cards are saying for the second half of the month of February. If there's something that was a little bit fuzzy or general here, it's a little bit trickier with the general reading that you want to explore further, just shoot me an email at mainspringtarot@gmail.com and we can set up a private reading. I'm actually not charging for readings, so go ahead and shoot me an email and we can set something up free of charge. I'm actually pretty new to reading tarot privately, so for now I'm just trying to get as many appointments as I can and grow as a reader. So hope you enjoyed the reading, and we will see you in March. Thanks.